Real Madrid just beat Benfica 2-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu in the Champions League playoffs, and we finally move on to the round of 16. Yes, of course, on Friday, don't forget, we are gonna draw either Benfica or Manchester City. That's where the fun starts. But this was an interesting game. I mean, Vinicius scored. We got what we wanted, chat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty happy. But the game was just boring. So, like, I don't know. It underachieved in enjoyment. Let's be honest. Some good goals, some good situations, but it just should have been a classic. In my opinion, Benfica just wasn't up for it. If Mourinho was on that pitch, it should have been much different. But Real Madrid do get it done, of course. Vinicius Jr. getting that second winning goal, tchouameni scoring, and I think it was Rafa Silva who gave actually the lead in the first half to Benfica. But I'm happy. I am, of course, happy. I liked the performance from the midfield and the defense. We're going to talk about it. The attack, on the other hand, was absolutely trash. If Vini didn't score, I think this was one of the most, they did nothing. Zero performance. Literally, they did nothing. Gonzalo Garcia had no servers, and when he got on the ball, he was just bad, in my opinion. And Vinicius, he gets his goal. That's all I wanted from him. And yeah, 2-1. Finally, Benfica, hold this fat L, you racist bum-ass club. Not all of you, but your fans are fucking racist. And Prestiani, hold this big L. And Otamendi, go back to Portugal and take off your shirt. Yeah, celebrate that World Cup even more now that you are out of the Champions League, because that's what you are living off. And it doesn't matter if Vini is away or at home, he will keep dancing anyway, bruv. Hold it. Now, let's go into the fucking game. I'm excited, of course, that we are through to the round of 16, but we have to talk about that first half. No. Raul Asensio, I'm wishing you a speedy recovery. I genuinely have no idea what happened. We had to end on a sour note. This is honestly crazy. I thought it was enough an injury, but yeah, prayers to you. I hope you get better. But this performance from you was absolutely awful. It was absolutely trash. I'm not gonna slander him too much because he has enough on his plate. But that performance from the defense in that first half and even in the midfield was absolutely not up to Real Madrid standard. Let's just be honest. We were getting cooked on the left and the right side by their fullbacks, by their wingers. I mean, Rafa Silva was having a field day. Silderup was getting in behind. Trent couldn't mark him. Carreras was getting outran by a fucking center defensive midfielder at right wing. And we just couldn't cope. We couldn't cope. When we held the ball, finally, we managed to score right away. We answered that goal, which was... Oh my goodness, they get the ball here after so many chances already, by the way. They were pumping us. They were getting the ball to way more than us. They were pressing, and fair play to Benfica for those 15 minutes. I think they did die down a little bit, but that pass and Asensio just almost scores an own goal. Courtois saves it. He saves it again, but Rafa Silva still scores somehow, right? And I was, at that point, I was so mad at this Madrid defense. Because I genuinely thought we were gonna get slapped up here. We look so bad. I'm glad we turned it around. And that was basically all on tchouameni today. Defensively, a monster, and he got that goal. Yeah, we answered quickly, and I think that killed off the game. After that point, Benfica, of course, they had chances, but they weren't pressing as well. They weren't getting in too many chances after that first half ended. But I do have to big them up for the first half, even though I fucking hate them. They were much better than us. We had zero cohesion in the midfield. Between the midfield and the defense. We couldn't build up. We just couldn't build up. But I think Valverde, tchouameni, and Camavinga, they hugely stepped up. I still want to see more from Arda. I don't think this was his worst game. But we have no creativity. And if we don't have a creative midfielder, Trent isn't enough. Trent wasn't particularly, the best when it comes to delivering anything to Gonzalo Garcia today, which we have seen that Gonzalo, without service, is basically nothing. Yeah, I don't like to, put too much pressure on him, but he needs constantly getting those balls in. He needs those crosses, and we just didn't have too many opportunities to do it today. Once again, when there is a game like this, I think Mbappe would look better. You know, but I don't know, everybody's gonna say, yeah, we beat them, we were better without Mbappe. I don't think that's the case. I think Vinicius was subpar today as well. On the ball, he wasn't particularly great. It was a 50-50 battle between him and Dedic. I also think that this defense wasn't particularly bad today, but they just looked a bit, you know, like soulless in the second half, you know? We were much better on the ball. We were keeping the ball much better. Fede Valverde got into the game really, really well. Even though in the second half, he should have got us another goal, in my opinion. When, you know, that situation, I think Trent passed it to him. Fede completely misses the ball, which was a crazy situation in the second half. But of course, Vinicius finally in the 80th minute, it took us to the 80th minute to score that second goal, gets the goal. And yeah, I think that's... Maybe if Vini doesn't score that goal, Benfica might get a second. They looked closer and closer, and they were getting, you know, closer to that 16-yard box. But when it comes to somebody saving us in this game, it wasn't the players. It wasn't, you know, a midfielder. It wasn't the goals from Tchouameni and Vini. It was once again Thibaut Courtois. Because if you remember that first half shot from Richard Rios, that should have been 2-1 for Benfica at that point. It just should have been. He nutmegs Tchouameni, it goes through Valverde's legs as well, and Courtois just saves us. And he is so important. So many shots. Once again, how many saves did he have today? He had 4 saves. Oh my god. Just, he is such an important player, and I couldn't stress enough how important that save was against Richard Rios. Now, a little bit on, you know, Benfica's team. I don't get what Mourinho's plan was today, because those first 15 minutes, they went for it, they scored a goal, they concede right after. I get it, it's like demotivating a lot, but they just stopped playing to the wingers a lot. They just kept playing through the middle, which I think was a stupid decision, because Carreras, Camavinga, Fede, and Trent were looking a little bit lost, let's be honest, in the first 15 minutes, but the player that was actually playing good was Tchouameni. But Benfica started to play, you know, through Barreiro, Arsnes, and Silva, which, yeah, he had a good game, but still, why would you play through that? And Pavlidis, I gotta say, he had a huge stinker. Now, on to Aurélien Tchouameni. Honestly, such a great game from you. I don't really have anything to say bad against Tchouameni, usually when he plays in the UCL. He's good on the ball, he wants to show up, you know, he receives the ball well, he gets us fouls, he was getting a lot of fouls, in fact, in the first half, which was helping us a lot. Without those fouls, I think genuinely we are once again conceding at least one more, and of course, he gets that goal. Such a good game from Tchouameni, and I think he was the best player, apart from Fede Valverde, which I want to talk about right now. 2 assists, and he could have had a goal. I already said it when he missed that goal, but Fede Valverde, you are more and more becoming, you know, that player what I saw last season. And I think Trent enables that fully for you. I'm so happy that he's turning it around now. And I do think Trent, once again, if he stays fit, Fede, it just enables him to do what he does best. And that's everything. You know, when he's not restricted to one position on the pitch and he is actually playing as a midfielder, he can do everything. And you could see that last year he was getting goals, he was getting more assists, but once we restricted him to a more like a suitable role, more a locked down role, you know, when he has to do something that's locked for him under that Xabi Alonso system, he just wasn't looking great. And this game you could see Arbeloa system, which is way more free flowing, you know, way more like Carlo Ancelotti. He is perfect in this system. I still don't think he's our captain, because he is a bit too quiet for me, but really well played for Fede Valverde. I already mentioned today, Baila Vini today, but this one, I have to mention. Guys, this is Vini. They chose I think they chose Vini, no? 44, like... I know it shows like Gonzalo, but Maybe I'm wrong, you know. I think Ferry touches is here. It just doesn't look offside. Maybe it's like sloped right here. I couldn't really care less, bro. This game was so boring. I just wanted to be over with. And yes, we are through to the round of 16. I just hope we don't get City, you know. I hope we don't get City, which as you can see here. But I think it's already done. You know, I'm going to be doing a watch along, of course, on Friday for the UCL draw. I hope you enjoyed this match reaction as well. And if you did, please subscribe, like, and comment. And please let me know down below who was your man of the match for this game. Love you so much, guys. Peace out.